Without further ado, let's start with the great lineup as mentioned. We'll start off right now with Mr. Peter Niemeyer, and I will unmute your line. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Luke. Thank you for the kind introduction. Hello, everybody.
And Peter, you are, and I will switch directly the presenter role to you whilst I'll put up your presentation there. Peter, you are, as the name suggests, German, and you are in in Munich, I believe.
Well, actually, as the name suggests, yes, I'm German. There's actually a football player in Germany who actually grew up in Holland who has the same name. So,
okay, that is
yeah, looking forward to present to you from actually the SugarCRM headquarters in EMEA here in Munich. To wherever you're based. So good afternoon, good evening, good morning to everybody who joined here. Thank you for the introduction, Luke.
All right, Peter, go ahead. You are the partner enablement manager, so nice title. Can you maybe you want to lead into your presentation, and you have all control to do so. So go ahead.
All right. So in my role here at Sugar, I'm basically the partner's best friend. So actually, I prefer representative. I wrote manager, but representative because I represent Sugar's partners throughout the EMEA region. But enough of that. The reason why we're here today is basically social CRM. And, well, I have 3 points on my agenda. I have 7 rules for you and 6 steps throughout my presentation to you. So I want to keep it nice and swift, because I don't want to bore anybody to death here. So 3 main agenda points. We're starting with what is social CRM, what is basically changing the buyer model. Then we go on with the rules of social CRM. I have 7 of these that we uncovered here in SugarCRM as being very important. And then, of course, 6 steps on how to get started with social CRM. So without further delay, let's jump right into the topic. So what is social CRM? Before I want to start, I want to point out that there's a major change going on. In the past, you basically had a conversation from your company to your customers. And the customers, they didn't have the means by which they could basically communicate to one another. Well, we had phones and we had letters and stuff like that. But the great invention of the internet made transparency increase throughout the world, and basically what we have today is people are talking amongst each other, and basically, to cut a long story short, you can say happy customers produce customers. Well, also the contrary is true, right? The flip side of the coin. So that's basically a major game changer that you need to adapt. So, in the traditional buying model, it was very linear. So you created awareness, consideration. You actually put your prospects that you had in your pipeline through the different stages of your associated sales process until they finally bought from you, bought again from you. You built customer loyalty. They were repetitive buyers. So guess what? These times are over. So I'm sorry to say that this is now more complicated. Well, it's not a linear model at all. Basically, what we're seeing today is a multifaceted conversation between a person, the friends of that person, peers, different blocks on the internet, entrenched new and free alternatives that might arise throughout the entire purchasing or sales process. So basically, for all of you who are still into the linear process, that's a complete nightmare, right? So, but for those of you who actually embrace the future, that's a big opportunity, because all you need to have is the proper tool to actually make sense of this and react accordingly. So, how do you start? You basically put your customer in the middle, right? So, my number one sales question when selling CRM systems is always, do you have customers? And if the answer is yes, well, you need a customer relationship management software. That's why I consider actually SugarCRM being in the relationship business rather than in the software business. Our goal is to make the connections that matter, right, for you. So all we want to achieve here is responsiveness to an ever-changing environment in the social world. So let me show you something which might be quite interesting for you. It's a so-called sales edge. You had several departments working for you: sales, customer service, call center, marketing. And they've been throwing stuff over the fence, kind of, the virtual fence to other people. It was a communication driven by the organization. So this sales edge didn't allow for a two-way communication. So what you want to do with a CRM system, with the social CRM system, is empower your internal staff, your organization, to make the connections that matter to the customers. Actually, what you want to do is, you want to penetrate that sales edge. So you have a two-way communication. You engage with customers, you engage with partners, you give them the tools that they need to your employees at their fingertips to actually get all the information that are available, relevant. For example, the number one use case you have all the time is you call a prospect and suddenly the prospect tells you, well, it's nice that you call me up and you want to sell me something, but did you actually figure out that I have 3 open support cases with your company? So how dare you calling me trying to sell me additional stuff, right? With the right CRM system, we can combine your sales initiatives with your support initiatives. Everybody actually in the company is the representative of your company's success. So CRM in the age of social is based on the simple premise that you are able to interact with your customers based on their needs, not your rules, not the rules set by some random software that you're using. It's all about them. So you need something that enables you to do so. Well, and actually, in order to become a social business, you might as well accept this fact. So it's all about the needs of the customers, not that the system actually tells you, all right, we need to do this because it's actually not possible or not supported by our software. Then you might as well have a rigid software that it doesn't fit your needs. So, well, let's move on. Well, in the social business, there's a social evolution going on. And I really like this graph here because it summarizes some of the main aspects that are important when moving towards a more social, customer-centric approach. Well, first of all, your whole entire organization is an ecosystem. It's social. Everyone is part of the process. Whether it's marketing, whether it's support, they all in the same boat. They all represent your company's vision, values, and so on and so forth. Then, if you want to continue to do with your customers, you might adapt to their processes, and you do not enforce the processes that you think. Again, alluding back to the point that I had earlier, it's about their needs, not about your rules. Then, business hours, of course. You might want to figure out when you will be available for your customers and what interfaces they can use, which are, the most convenient to you, which actually goes hand in hand with the channels they have defined. So, or that you have defined, and maybe they can request other channels. Maybe they request a ticketing system, or a chat, or ordinary telephone or email support, whatever. So, and actually, that's one of my favorites. It's moving away from a transactional standpoint, moving more back into an interactive standpoint. It's not like, give me the money, see you next time when you buy. It's more like, all right, thank you for your purchase. Let's sit down, give us some feedback on how to improve our products. What do you like about our offering? What don't you like about our offering? Right? For example, polls in the social media world are very popular. Plus, giving customers the proper platform to interact under one another, and you just monitor what's going on, and you get a lot of insight about your market. And then again, it's moving from inside out to outside in. So you might as well adapt to the fact that you get a lot of feedback from your customers through various channels. Well, without further delay, let's jump into the new rules of social CRM. Luke, I hope we're doing good on time here, so I need to accelerate a little bit. The new rules of social... All right, cool. So actually, as I said to you, who can actually see me on the screen? I have seven rules for you today, and the first rule about social CRM is you are not in control. Remember the United Breaks guitar PR super GAU that happened to United Airlines a couple of years ago in 2009? It was actually a country singer that was a passenger on the United Airlines flight. And when they looked out the window, there were some guys from United Airlines on the roll field actually packaging the luggage into the plane, and they threw the luggage through the air. And some woman spotted that, oh, look, they're actually throwing guitars over the tarmac. And obviously, this guy didn't like that very much, because United Airlines, in fact, broke his guitar, which cost like $3,000. He was not very amused of this and produced a song that he put on the internet. Actually, United Breaks Guitars. He published that song on the 6th of July in 2009. Only 3 days later, this guy had like 500,000 clicks. Only 1 month later, he had like 10 million clicks. So this is just, how things can happen to you in the social media context. So, and it's all about you, how you react to that. So you are not in control. Things can actually slip out your hand. If you assume you're in control, you're probably wrong. Right. Second, traditional marketing is declining. So this is a study done by Booth and Company in 2010, where actually they asked marketeers, where do you spend your money in the next 2 to 3 years? And most of them actually said, well, in social media initiatives, whether it's Facebook, whether it's in other social networks such as LinkedIn, whether it's innovative solutions such as Web2Present, as we're doing today here. Actually, I think that's a very nice concept, because it brings together a lot of people from different countries on a virtual table. Stuff like that, it's also part of the social media world. So, and the traditional marketing, where you actually pay some content and just throw it in front of the customer, it's still relevant. It's not that, but it's not that important anymore. Right. And as rule number 3, people connect with the companies. It actually goes hand in hand with the traditional and the new channels. Actually, you have to accept the fact that more and more of the communication is customer driven. There's nothing better in sales than having a customer who's actually publishing information about him or herself on the web. It's a gold mine for you. You just have to grab this kind of information. You just need the right tools at your fingertips that, whenever I call this person, I actually have a hook line, I have a story to tell, I know what might be relevant for this person. So whether you do this through the monitoring of blogs, or through the monitoring of Twitter or Facebook accounts, or through the monitoring of LinkedIn groups, that's up to you. You just need a system that supports this, right? So rule number 4, customer service is marketing. Coming back to the fact that everyone in your organization is basically a representative of your company's vision, of your company's values, and the way that you would like to treat your customers as a company. So customer service plays a vital role, because in many studies you can actually see that people are requiring support through social media channels. So we'll come to another example of this quite a little bit later, but for example, the guys at Rackspace, they're really, as they say, fanatical. It's all about, we're all backed by fanatical support. And these guys, they are fully aware of that they treat your inquiries